I mean, like, since we're here, like, I met, like, her child's father, like, at the barbecue the day of. Like, so
That I
I was
haven't been
already
together with for 8 years, 7
Okay.
He was
years.
at the
Okay.
barbecue?
So
7 years.
whatever type of way, though,
Yo.
when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way, though.
All right, guys, gotta talk about this fascinating story from the Pop the Balloon show. Okay, now we're gonna react to this couple that's back to do a follow-up. I want to say they went viral about a month ago, give or take, and now they're back to see how their date went, slash if they even went on a date to begin with. Okay, so of course I'm gonna play the initial clip that had went viral, and then subsequently we're gonna get into the follow-up to see how that went. Okay, so let's go to roll the clip. Let's take a look.
Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
Since you guys ended up matching on the show, have you guys gone on a date?
Do you want to tell him, Jeremy, or?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna say, so after we left the show, I offered him if he wanted to come and join me. At the time, I was already having a barbecue
Okay.
with my famay.
And this was back in LA?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
here.
Oh, in Arizona?
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's here. So
Oh,
I rented
right.
a big Airbnb. I threw my niece a birthday party, and that's kind of what I was rushing to get back to a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
And, you know, I offered for him to come, but I did give the option, like, if you don't want to come, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going right now. So if you want to come, it's barbecue, you know, we're there, we're partying, we're drinking, we're having fun.
Right.
I'm very family oriented. So I'm very friends. Like, if you're around me, you're going to be around the people that I love.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with that, it's kind of like,
No.
like, obviously, you don't need to be with me.
Yeah.
So we went back there, and I guess it just, he did leave at 2 a.m, so it was like,
Okay.
not
So
like that, not like that.
No, I mean, like, he stayed for some time.
He stayed for some time.
Okay.
You know, he acted like he did enjoy himself. And then, you know, he went home after. Everything was kind of fine after that. It was cool.
Let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, I find that quite fascinating that she's already introducing him to her family and you don't even know him. Okay, he barely knows you as it is. You're now introducing him to your family. I find that kind of bizarre. That's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. You know, hey, that could be a cultural thing, possibility for sure. But the way I'm looking at it is I want to have at least some sort of baseline with an individual before I start bringing them around my folks. That's just me personally. Okay, especially your mom and dad and people that you love and care and cherish. You want to make sure you're bringing somebody good around you. You don't want to have a whole bunch of guys, you know, being introduced to your family, so on and so forth, because you know, you may have the conversation like, whatever happened to so-and-so or the other dude or the other dude, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets to a potential conversation where you're having this revolving door of guys kind of coming in and out, and you're constantly being questioned on what happened to such and such, slash the safety and, you know, just having good people around your folks. Okay, you want to make sure you're having good people around your folks, and yeah, you don't want to just bring anybody around. Okay, that's just my opinion on it, but let me know what you guys think.
Got to know each other a little bit more, not that much, but a little bit more. And then the next day, we were supposed to hang out, but I had to fly back to LA.
Okay.
So we were planning on going on a real date, you know, fly out to LA and see me, or I can fly back to Arizona and see you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just didn't get to that point.
Okay. All right. So, Jeremy, the barbecue you guys went to was right after filming? Like, you left filming, went straight there? Okay. So, how was that for you?
Right after.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, mic up.
I enjoyed it. I'm also
That's crazy.
family oriented. I think we talked about that on the show. And got a chance to meet her family. I had a really good time. We played dominoes.
Okay.
So yeah, like she said, I kind of stayed a little later and then I went home. We were supposed to meet the next day. I think I was expecting her to I think we had a plan that she would let me know when she was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that didn't happen. So we ended up kind of like, she kind of just went back home, and so we had talked about possibly, having a date. Obviously, with me having to go to LA or she coming back here.
Okay, so the next day when you guys were supposed to go on this so-called date, was that like something you guys had discussed while you guys were at the barbecue, and then the next day there was no follow-up on it, or what happened?
We kind of discussed that like the morning time, I think.
Okay.
It was more like, because he actually stays around where my sister stays. So we're in the same area.
Okay.
Like almost same facility. And
Right.
so, but I was so much with my sister and stuff. They don't get to see me that much. And so from breakfast, we have all the kids. It's just so much stuff right now that I can't bring him into
Okay.
right now
Okay.
to what we had going on. And yeah, that's why I was like, it took a little bit too much time. And then, flying in, you got a rental car, you got to go clean it, you got to take it back. Like
Do a
it
lot,
was,
yeah.
it was that. And then it's the heat. So you're hot and it was just too much. So I was okay with, I have no problem flying in 2 days later or flying in a week later to come see you or you come see me. Like that, the way my, you shouldn't have that problem not coming to fly to see me.
Okay, so what went wrong? Was there just like,
Oh, would you like to tell him what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I think
actually, no, let's hear from Jeremy.
Yeah,
She went
let's
first with the
let him
story.
say
Let's
what
hear from
went
you
wrong.
I think there were kind of a few things that happened from my perspective
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression or kind of set up the wrong kind of idea. And so ultimately, we came to, there was a situation in which I was going out of town.
Okay.
I was going on a vacation, previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior to
we
you
met,
coming on the
prior to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with. And I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friends, friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
Ex and a friend, yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, we were, okay, let me tell you, we were on the phone. We're talking, getting to know each other. He said he's gonna go to Puerto Rico for his birthday. And I was like, oh, fun. Like, who are you going with?
Right.
Like, he said he skipped the question first. He skipped the question. And then I was like,
I did, absolutely did.
oh, okay. But then I asked again, like, wait, who are you going with? And he said, my ex. And I was like, I think my phone's dying. So after that, I never talked to him again. I hung up. We never talked until the only way we talked again, because I think he called me a few times after that. I did not answer.
Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about that. There's two ways that you can look at this. Okay, the first thing is, why would you go on a dating show knowing that you have a vacation booked with a friend, okay, aka your ex? Okay, you guys are friends now, hey, cool. But 99% of women would view that, okay, would view the optics of that and not be cool with it at all. Okay, 99% of women would not be cool with that. I'm just saying. Okay, the other way you can look at it is, hey, I booked this trip before I knew you existed, okay, before the show. I don't really know about you. I just met you, okay? It's only been a couple of days, okay? Modern women today like to throw out time frames. I've only met you for 48 hours, so I can't do certain things, okay? They use time frames to excuse bad behavior or things that they will or will not do. So he could have easily said, hey, I just met you 48 hours ago. Why would I book or cancel this trip rather when I already had it planned before I met you, okay? There has to be things that you need to show me for me to possibly cancel this trip, okay? I'm not just gonna cancel the trip just because you want me to. You're not the only one messaging her, texting her, hitting her up, right? She has other guys that are interested. I'm just saying. So, I can kind of see both sides here, and I'm pretty sure you guys in the comment section will voice your opinion on this. But for me personally, I would probably wait until I went on vacation. And then if I absolutely had to go on the show, which I wouldn't do at all, but in this example, if he absolutely has to go on the show, I would wait until I've gone on the vacation and there's no real obstacle for a woman to possibly bring back up during a discussion or a debate or what have you. Okay, there's nothing there that she can kind of use as some sort of leverage, or say that, hey, you're not over your ex, because please believe that's what she's gonna say.
There was no reason for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no longer talking to him?
There's no reason to
I did not
talk.
call her.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it was, what do you wanted me to do? Tell you, like, how was the vacation with your ex? Like, did you guys chill on the beach or something? Like, did you want me to wait for when you got back? And then it's like, there was no talking afterwards.
Okay.
Well, there was nothing for us to talk about. And we didn't recently talk again until I found out that, people were sending me things, and they were sending me things like, oh, he went on a different podcast. He talked about you. He talked a lot of mess about you. He said things, talked about your family, talked about this and how it wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? He's kind of capped because that didn't happen. So a lot of things, like, he said that didn't happen. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, he went and talked about me. Cool. Like, I really don't care at the moment, because obviously from the jump it showed me that who he was, what he was doing. He wasn't looking for anything. It was just a good time. So it was just, that's fine with me. And I was okay. You're going with your ex. We didn't start anything new. It's just keep it pushing,
Okay.
So I didn't badmouth her or say anything bad about her or her family.
Okay.
There was a situation, that we were in that I did speak on another platform. But it wasn't, I didn't say it in a negative way. What I will say, though, is some of the things that were said and some of what I observed and seen kind of led me to kind of believe that it wasn't as serious as, like...
Okay, such as what?
There was some transparency, some things she told me in confidence that I would rather not share.
No problem.
But I will say that there were some things that she told me that she was processing through that kind of just, put it in a different perspective for me as far as the seriousness of, like, what was happening.
Okay, so you think she wasn't as serious about getting to know you?
Well,
or?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I just didn't think we were in a space to where I would cancel a trip with an ex or a friend because I met you. I just didn't think we were in a space where that would even be a reasonable ask, that I was obligated to do that, that it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all. When we had only, hung out with each other one time.
Yeah, this brother's smooth. I'm not gonna lie. This guy's speaking like a politician right now. He's choosing his words very, very carefully. Okay, very, very meticulous here. But hey, he's saying that they hung out one time and he didn't see enough to possibly cancel his trip that he has with his friend. I'm just saying. Okay, so based on that, he's probably viewing it as a casual thing. And it seems like she wanted him to possibly go all in, cancel the trip, be about her, and, that's that kind of thing, right? And again, it doesn't seem like he was viewing it that way. He probably needed a little bit more time to even determine if they would even be a good fit or not. And it seems like, based on what he's saying, he was kind of on the fence about it, / he wasn't really seeing anything that was really standing out for him to possibly cancel that trip. I'm just saying.
So from my perspective, based off of as well of what I kind of observed and understood she already currently had going on. So I would have thought that would have been kind of just to, like kind of a drop in the bucket, if you will.
Okay.
Without saying too much, but to me, it was like, I didn't think it was that serious. And so, which is also why I had no problem with being just kind of forthcoming about it and honest. And so if she didn't like it, just cool.
Okay.
That's a good point.
She did kind of like make some sort of whatever kind of funny comment when I actually did go on vacation, she told me happy birthday and was like some sort of comment, I hope you enjoying or something with your ex.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think we were still following each other, and I said, happy birthday. You're in Puerto Rico. I hope you have fun with your ex.
And so I responded, and so even at that point, I thought that there was maybe some sort of, attempt to continue conversation.
Okay.
But so when I responded, I forgot what she said, but she said something to the effect, which is basically kind of ask if it was kind of, I felt questioned, and so I never responded to that. And that was our last communication before the podcast, and I do have receipts.
Okay. So after you guys had the conversation, she was like, "Oh, you're going with your ex." You just left it at that. You weren't interested enough, basically, is what you're saying, to
continue. There was nothing else to like. I mean, like if she liked it, she liked it. If she did, fine. But I didn't think I owed her that explanation, and I thought it was something that was just like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Owed me. That's crazy. So I'm gonna just get this. Okay, first of all, how would we even have enough time? We just met. We're starting something new, right? So we came on here to find that other person love. Obviously, we've had stuff in our past. Like you're saying that, for what he doesn't want to say, saying that I'm still in love with my ex. No, I told him I always have love for my ex. So I was like, my ex-fiance, whatever. I always have love, but I'm not in love. If I was in love with that person, I would go be there fighting for that person to be with that person. But no, I told him, I'm single. I'm here. I didn't give you I'm with this, I'm with that. I told you what I do. I do my music. I take care of my kid by myself. I take care of my own responsibilities. I'm independent. And then all I need is somebody there with me to make me happy and have fun. I never once given him that, sign that I'm still talking to him. I'm this. Never once, because we didn't even get that far. Now, for him to be he doesn't owe me anything, it's kind of messed up, because it's I'm not expecting you to owe me anything. You should be a gentleman. You came to me and you're looking for this, I'm looking for the same thing. So why do I have to accept that you're about to go have a time in Puerto Rico with somebody else, and I'm here still looking for love, but gotta be okay that you're there having a great time with somebody that's in your past. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be focused on you, but that's what you're offering me to accept.
And so this trip was how soon after the show?
Literally right after.
Let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, because as she said, she's a single mom. She's probably now moving with a sense of urgency. She's probably wasted enough time with the bad boys, because during the initial episode, she was saying that she was choosing all the wrong guys. She doesn't know how to choose guys, and she was choosing him, which is not necessarily her type, but she was trying something new because she was tired of wasting time with guys that were kind of stringing her along. Okay, so she's probably in a mindset where she's basically saying, TikTok, what's going on here?
The show was beginning of August, I believe. My birthday is at the end of August.
Okay.
So,
right after.
But again, vacations are previously planned, not planned the day of, right? So
you weren't done. You weren't done with your past, and that's okay. Don't be done with your past.
I mean, I think that's a very kind of dogmatic way of looking at it, and that's okay if that's your worldview, but it's not mine. So you don't have to fall out to walk out. And because somebody's your ex doesn't mean that they still aren't your friend. And so what that means to you can be different. And I think that's unique between people and their relationships.
So did you guys stay in the same room?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Jeremy, if the roles were switched, for example,
That's kinda
let's
crazy,
say
I'm not gonna lie.
her ex went on a vacation after you guys met, you would have been totally okay with that, still getting to know her after that trip?
Well, I think if it was a previous planned vacation, I wouldn't have told her to cancel it. Yeah, I don't know that I would have had a problem with that. Since we're here, I met her child's father at the barbecue the day of. So
That I
was
haven't been
already-
together with for 8 years, 7 years.
He was at the
Okay.
barbecue?
So
7 years.
whatever type of way though,
Yo.
when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way though, which is
That wasn't because of you. That was because my child at the time, not to get too deep into it, but my child at the time didn't understand how birthdays work. and he was a little upset that somebody else was getting a lot of attention. So, you know, I parented, and my son's dad, we're not together, but he's not really in his life like that. So it was a parenting thing. The why he got upset is because, you know, I took full mom mode. He was trying, and I excluded that out. So it was a parenting thing of why he left.
but why was
it
he
had
there?
nothing to do with him. And I just feel why you feel like you're that to take that. Like, I don't understand why you think it was for you.
So that's not what I was alluding to.
No.
If you're placed in those situations, like out of the gate for whatever reason, that just means that there's unresolved tension, if from my estimation or my observation, between you and your baby's father.
No, I have always not liked him. It's just always been like that. I don't like him. He knows I don't like him.
So why is he, like, I'm confused. Why is he there? So you just meet Jeremy from the Pop the Balloon show. You invite him to the barbecue to meet your family. And then your ex-boyfriend or fiance or baby dad or whoever he is there at the same damn time. Could you imagine just meeting a woman for the first time, meeting her family, probably being overwhelmed from meeting her family and then meeting her baby daddy on top of that? Could you imagine how awkward that must be?
Everybody knows I don't like him, but we tolerate each other because he's been in my life for so long that my family invites him everywhere, but they don't look at him as in, oh, that's Breeze. Like,
That's your man.
They would be like, you know, we will even say, like, bring a girl, bring somebody. Like, we would love to meet somebody that you have. Like, we even tell him.
Did y'all like go out or something like that, where you tried to like introduce him to a girl or something like?
Yeah, we try to introduce him. We go out,
What?
like we go out to like groups, and before I would
Why?
have somebody with me, you know, I'll get my friends to try to get him to somebody. Like, sometimes he's into it, sometimes he's not, but that's him. I don't know his life. We're not into that. Like, he's around sometimes. So
But you
the
would
fact
say
that he's not a factor.
But you would say that it's quite possible, even though you guys are exes and have a child together, to be friends and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after like,
This
I don't
guy's
think
good.
of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay, so my whole point
He's
is
not a friend to you.
So my whole point
No.
is
Yo.
it's possible to be a friend to someone after you've been in a relationship with them.
How
And
long
that's
was
what
your ex was though? How long?
How long? What? We've been broken up for over a year. Like,
That's not a comparison.
yeah,
I was
but
with
I
him
mean,
when I
like,
was like
I don't know
17.
I just want to answer the question. Like, I'm
I
confused
have
on why
history.
that's relevant though.
I think she's saying like maybe like feelings might still be involved.
Never.
Like on your end, and that's why
A
she was like,
year.
I'm gonna back up.
I mean,
That's a
that could
year.
be true if I was dating somebody else prior to coming on the show. Like that's an imminent truth, regardless of whether it's an ex or somebody new. So I think like that's not a real danger. Like her exploring what could have been with me, like that us going or on vacation had no hindrance on that. Is what I'm saying.
So you don't think it'd be back in my head of what they're doing on vacation? So it's like for me, like, ooh, I just met somebody. Maybe I could start with, maybe I can go fly and see him. Like maybe there's something new because he's looking for this, looking for that. But then once you tell me like, oh, you're going with your ex, like that's like a slap in the face. And so it's just like, okay, obviously he's not serious, but then you have the means to tell me that I'm not, you didn't get to know me enough. You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try. You didn't try at all. Like you barely called me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think just based off of what I observed in totality, that did not lead me to put my best foot forward or my best attempt to get to know you. So for that, you're right. But I think based off of what you said or what I took away from our conversation at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not like kind of jump into this more seriously.
I don't see how you're all over me at the barbecue. And then
Yeah,
you're doing
but-
way too much.
but
And so I did send you home on an Uber. So
physicality and like,
what you said, it was nice. It was a black truck from what you said from the other podcast
I
you
did.
went on
It was
about
nice.
me, right?
It was nice, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
Yo.
Physicality, me showing you physical interest, is not the same as me like pursuing you.
not.
So those are two completely different things.
Facts.
So, if I
So
was
you
all-
knew from the barbecue that you no longer wanted to pursue her?
Well,
Is that
I
what
just
I'm
kind
getting?
of moved it into a different bracket or a different category, if you will. I just thought it wasn't advantageous for me to take it seriously at all.
There were things there were concerns that he had, and based on what was coming out of her mouth, he wasn't interested enough to do something drastic like cancel the trip. Okay, that's what happened here. Something she said, either with her ex or she was coping with something, she was dealing with something, because he mentioned that he didn't want to put her on blast. So I guess we'll never know. But there was something there that he heard that he didn't necessarily like, or made him want to gravitate towards her more to put his best foot forward and to, you know, possibly waste his time. Okay, that's basically what he's saying here. He just kind of put her on the back burner and continued to live his life. If they so happen to meet up and live happily ever after, so be it. But he wasn't going to go out of his way to possibly, reroute his life, so to speak, to accommodate her. Okay, that's basically what he's saying here. Physical attraction is completely different from wanting a relationship. Okay, is she physically attractive? Absolutely. Okay, she is attractive. But when it comes to a relationship and creating a legacy and putting a ring on her, so on and so forth, there was something there that, he wasn't really feeling. And she is getting that confused. Okay, he was all over me. He was into me. Okay, cool. But that doesn't translate to a wedding ring. And, hey, that's what some of these modern women make that mistake time and time again, thinking that the attention is going to equal to something serious, and that's not always the case. It's really not.
If you're still having this emotional attachment to your ex.
I never had an emotional attachment.
That's what I
This
understood
man
from
is
the
weird.
conversation.
So it sounds like there was like a lot of miscommunication.
We weren't even by each other though. He was playing dominoes with everybody. Like,
Well, no, this conversation
we weren't even
happened.
by each
Everybody
other.
went inside the house, and I don't know if she remembers because we were a little tipped.
No, we weren't.
But we were outside. They were all inside the house, and me and her were outside near the barbecue when this particular aspect of the conversation happened. I remember it pretty vividly because I kind of made a mental note of it, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I was honest. I was thankful for her being honest, but I kind of compartmentalized what was going on at that particular time, and just was more open to just see where it goes. But I'm like,
I've never been.
So just to ask you, Briante, so obviously when he said the whole ex thing, like that's who he's going on vacation with, for you as well, like you didn't care enough to text him either, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna continue this, like.
No, there was no point. He's with his ex still, so his mind's somewhere else. It wasn't, I didn't feel the need to reach out or anything. It was like, okay, back up. Obviously, I did say on the show I choose the wrong guys, obviously, so it was okay. And I was fine with that. I was fine with moving forward. I didn't show him any type. I showed him who I was. We had a great time. I wasn't like flirting with my baby dad. It wasn't anything. He actually left early. So it was just like, he wasn't even there for the rest of the time there. And we had a good time. So that's why I didn't show him any signs that I was anything. Because the fact that my baby dad's in conversation right now, it really irks me. For a man that you've never showed no interest, no love in the last 7, almost 8 years of your life. And then now that he put that as his reason, it's crazy. So he should be jealous of my exes or something. Like, he should be thinking about them.
Jealousy is crazy.
I mean, not jealous, but like meaning like concerned. That's the word. You should be concerned about who I had before. Yeah, before like 2 years ago or something. You should be on that. I'd get that. I would get that. But to make it that, then that's weird.
Of an observation.
But why is my exes a factor if I never brought them to you?
I
never brought them to you. They never came into play. They never was a conversation. I was focused on you, and come on.
I'm confused. Did you not tell me that you were still in love with your ex, or did I?
No, I said I have love for my ex.
All right. So there was a kind of a whole space about that where you kind of went into more detail about that, which I won't share here. But for you to to kind of just make it seem like you just said that is a bit disingenuous. And so what I took away from that conversation, and what based off of what I observed with your interactions, what you said is that it was not in my best interest to pursue seriously in that way. Like, I was open to allowing it to develop. But as you said, after you left, even after the next day when you were supposed to call me and you didn't, like, I take people like for their word. And when you say you're going to call me, I was expecting that, and you didn't. You just left, and I actually had to reach out to you. I was like, hey, I hope you made it home, A, B, and C. And then you end up responding to that. But those are key indicators that you may also not be as serious as you think you are. And so there's no way in hell I'm even thinking about canceling a trip with a friend that's pre-booked, or even anything to. That's what we are now. Like, we're not together, so I mean, like, or even like anything remotely close to that, for what I've seen in just a 24 or 48 hour period.
That is very weird.
Yeah, it just sounds like this was gonna crash and burn from the beginning.
Yes, definitely did.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, at least you guys did hang out a little bit. Got to know each other and saw, like, okay, I guess so and so is not for
I think
me.
she's pretty cool though, but like I just the way it went down.
I didn't give you no option of. I just don't feel like you have valid reasons. Like, I have a valid reason. You don't.
Okay,
Like,
I mean, that's fair enough. Like, my reasons don't have to necessarily be valid to you, and I didn't think your issue was initially valid to me, but I respect it. I don't have anything against you. That's why when I came in, I wanted to be cordial and speak.
and you said, let's get to work, right? So.
I mean, like, because you was throwing shots, so I just wanted to make sure we were going to at least be professional.
No, you asked for a hug, and I said, I don't want to hug you. I don't like you. Why would I hug you?
So then we started to kind of talk about something else, and then you got a little testy. And so I was like, all right, if we're not going to be cool, then let's at least be professional,
right.
which I'm glad you're being now. So thank you for that.
Well, just to go ahead and wrap it up, is there anything, like any future projects we could be on the lookout for, either one of you? We could start with you.
Well, I don't know. I do music, as you don't know. I just dropped a single with Kirko Banks called Feelings.
Okay.
I have a show November 2nd that would be in LA. If you're on my page, on my Instagram, announcements would be on soon and everything. But yeah, a lot more music and a lot more artists to collaborate with would be there. So
nice. Yeah. Well, we'll be on the lookout, girl. Hey, what about for you, Jeremy?
Currently working on a podcast. It'll be called the Big Fella Podcast. With actually some of my oldest friends. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Kind of barbershop, male, African-American centered content. So y'all can be on the lookout for that.
Okay, we will. We'll definitely be checking it out.
She didn't like that.
Okay, well, I do wish you both the best of luck, in everything you do and all that good stuff and your future relationships. Thank you. And everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Okay, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, it seems like Jeremy saw something that he wasn't cool with. Okay, the fact that her baby dad even showed up to the barbecue and I'm just meeting your folks for the very first time is alarming. It really is. Okay, I would be highly uncomfortable and that would be a complete turnoff for me personally. I'm just saying. Plus, what he was hearing from you in regards to, having love for your baby dad, maybe there was something more that was said there. He made the executive decision to not pursue you primarily as his number one option. Okay, that's what happened here. And it doesn't seem like she was able to deal with the fact that she wasn't going to be the number one option, or he wasn't going to bend over backwards for her based on, possibly her physical appearance, because she's basically saying, hey, this is a no-brainer. Okay, you have, or you should have, no real reason as to why you're not pursuing me full-fledged. Okay, that's basically what she's saying here. And, she's not really taking into consideration his concerns and what he has to say. Okay, she's pretty much dismissing it and basically saying whatever reason you have is not valid. Okay, when in reality, arguably both your reasons are valid. Okay, you have the reason of him going on vacation with his ex. You can make that argument and say, hey, I don't feel comfortable, talking to somebody or pursuing somebody that is going on vacation with their ex, okay? Some people may understand that and say that's within reason. From his perspective, he's basically saying, I'm not cool with the baby dad hanging around and you having love for the baby dad, okay? You being a single mom and having the baby dad just kind of dangling around, okay? I don't see that as something that I would want to possibly pursue, okay? So I think all in all, they weren't compatible, okay? It wasn't a good fit. Pretty sure moving forward that they'll both find somebody more their speed. But let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback, and until next time.